I am recording a podcast, which is fun and productive, but it's not career productive. No, but it is. It is. So. I'm having fun. That's important.
Why can't we have nice things in football?
Never.
Eh.
Could never be happy. Was that all recorded?
Yes.
Oh. Welcome back to the James and Dame Show. I'm Josiah.
And I'm Will.
And today we're going over Week 14 preview. Things are coming down to the wire, weirdly enough.
Yeah,
I mean, it's like right after Thanksgiving or something. I don't know.
freaking Pick'em League. Last week was rough.
You think?
We have the same amount of wins as we've had generally, where it's from like 90 to 110. The difference is there were 16 games last week. So the best record on the week was 10-6 between Bushwookie and Amber. We both went 9-7. Rough week.
Yeah, that's kind of why
honestly, I'm surprised I went 9-7. With how that week started, I was like, how did I end up with 9 wins?
Will and I picked the same teams for the first 4 games, and we were 0-4 for those first 4 games. That's kind of why I didn't want to talk about it, but at the same time, it needed to be discussed because Amber is technically in first.
You guys are tied.
We're tied. She's only in first place because she didn't pick 2 games.
No, it's essentially you're just tied. It goes off.
It goes off a point, so it doesn't really matter at that point.
Yeah, you guys are tied.
We're tied for first. I'm happy with that. Will is still.
I'm here.
How many games behind? 7.
I'm here.
Will's gonna have an immaculate comeback, and he's gonna win the whole Pick'em League. I don't know, but that's probably what's gonna happen because this year is weird. And so. All right, I got it all in my system. So,
anyways, now into the games for this week.
Ones.
Yeah, we are at a point where all these games have
a lot of playoff implications. Specifically, these 2 teams. We have the Cowboys going to Detroit to play the Detroit Lions. Lions are praying that they don't fall and stumble and get kicked out of the playoffs. We have the Cowboys who are really ambitious right now, and they're like, we want in right now. Give us a playoff berth or something.
Yeah,
I don't know, but
both of these teams are in like must-win situations. Dallas potentially with the chance to get back into like maybe a wild card spot, but also still in division play. They can get back into it. While the Lions, they're trying to keep themselves in the division. I mean, it's the same case, trying to stay in the division race, but also they're falling out of the playoff picture bit by bit, and so
they are currently right now too.
Yeah, I mean, right now it's both teams are in kind of must-win situations where if team that loses they're gonna have a long road ahead to get back in.
Yeah.
So, I will say, Detroit hasn't lost a game after losing. They've not lost 2 in a row.
They usually bounce back, yeah.
Yeah, they usually tend to bounce back. These 2 tend to, I feel like, have pretty good matchups.
Yeah,
but
I'd say.
They play pretty well in bounce back games. They've also alternated win-loss for a few weeks. But I am going to say that I'm going to go with the Lions here. Just on the merit of like, if it wasn't for the way they play after losses, I think I might actually have gone with Dallas here because Dallas is playing quite a bit better, and Detroit has a few holes on this team right now, and they're not quite playing up to the level that they would hope. But
that's kind of how I feel about things too. And I'm going to agree with you. I am going to go with the Lions as well because literally the Lions don't lose back-to-back weeks unless it happens. And yeah, I wouldn't be opposed if people picked Dallas because that offense it's clicking. That's what they wanted. And now their defense is starting to emerge, I guess. I mean, they've been slowly finding their identity, so it takes a little bit. I mean, Schottenheimer's only doing so much. I mean, he's more of like I don't know. I think it's the talent that's really carrying them. It's not really the coaching. So that's kind of how I viewed McCarthy too. It was the talent that carried them, not the coach. So, yeah. So we have that on Thursday night. Going into Sunday, there are miserable matchups to start off the morning. We can get those out of the way real fast. We have the Seahawks visiting the Falcons.
Falcons coming off of an ugly, a very not pretty
loss to
loss
the Jets.
Who've looked better in the past few weeks. They've looked much more competitive and such, but
even
it
then,
not looked great.
No, it's kind of sloppy.
Meanwhile, Seattle clobbered Minnesota, and I don't see this going much better for Atlanta, so I'm gonna pick Seattle in this one.
Same here. Yeah. So. All right.
Then we got one of the Tank Bowl games.
Tank Bowl.
Where one of these teams actually is eliminated. One of them still technically has a chance, only 3 games back from first.
Oh my god.
We have the Tennessee Titans playing the Cleveland Browns, and the Browns. Myles Garrett might break the sack record in this game alone.
He might actually, which is the crazy part.
The O-line is not good.
They are terrible.
We do get a rookie matchup here too.
It only took them until week 14. These two were kind of tripping. They were having friendly banter before the draft, just who would be drafted higher. Obviously, Cam Ward did. So I'm curious to see how they face each other. Obviously, their teams are not good, with the exceptions of like Myles Garrett, Judkins, and a couple other Browns. Titans don't have anything.
Titans have a pretty solid defense.
They have an okay defense. I'm not super.
It's the Titans offense that I just against this Browns defense. I just don't think they're gonna.
They're not gonna survive
anything.
Cam Ward's gonna die.
Yeah, I think because looking on the flip side, I think the Titans defense can do enough against this Browns offense and against Shadur to make them uncomfortable and give the team a chance to win. But I just don't think there's a chance that the offense does anything
at all
to give them a real shot at winning.
The thing is that you're gonna go into a situation where, you have like. Titans aren't playing for anything. Browns, maybe. And then it's like, well, do Titans play spoiler? Do they want to ruin their tank at all? Because we talked about this a little bit. Titans, they might win one more game this year. Might. We don't know who it's against.
I just don't see them as a one-win team. Overall,
yeah, but who would they beat though? Because they're playing. I know they're playing obviously the Browns this week.
They still have the Saints to play.
Yeah, they have the Saints. So I think it might be the Saints. They get their second win. Honestly,
that would be my guess. But
this Browns defense is a little too good for that Titans O line. So I think Cam Ward might have a better chance against the Saints than the Browns right now.
A game that the Titans win is not going to be against a really good defense with a really scary pass rush. And a weak offense. It's going to be kind of the opposite, where it's like a weak, especially front seven.
Front seven, yeah.
But just a weaker defense and maybe a little bit better of an offense. I think that is the level that the Titans could win, or who knows? Maybe they'll beat the Chiefs. I don't know, but they're not. I don't have them beating the Browns.
I have the Browns winning. So
Browns are a mismatch team where they'll pull out some wins that are just kind of. Not on the merit of record, but just the merit of their defense.
Yeah. And the thing is that if depending on how they win, I think it's mostly going to be a defensive shutout. So it's not great competition. So
I see like a 14-3 game.
that's probably what's going to happen, which is really bad. Another tank bowl. We have the Commanders and the Vikings. Yikes. I trust the Commanders more. I can't believe I'm saying that.
I'm going to be honest. It's probably a bit of recency bias, but Commanders look like they've stepped up a little bit.
They're
Like
doing okay.
the way they now this is a big if, but if they can play the way they did on Sunday night against the Broncos,
Yeah,
this is
they
a competitive
they
team
can be a
versus
competitive team.
versus the Vikings that have just, they've not. They've been that offense overall. Again, people are hating on JJ McCarthy,
As they should.
but I think it's just the offense as a whole is just something's wrong.
You know it's bad when Adam Thielen doesn't want anything to do with it.
Yeah, he won it out.
He got out.
He did.
So
But the Vikings, like, Justin Jefferson isn't getting much going. Aaron Jones is not doing well. And it's like none of the quarterbacks doing, like, it's just ugly.
yeah.
Ugly. Like, I don't know what happened to the Vikings.
Ugly.
But I am gonna go with the Commanders. Whether it's Marcus Mariota or Jaden Daniels, it's expected to probably still be Marcus Mariota, but there are rumblings of Jaden Daniels making a potential return. I mean, he's not on IR, so
I don't know if he's going to do very well. He's going to do enough, but I don't know if he's going to. I don't know.
yeah,
So, we'll see.
it's tough to say. I mean, again, it's gonna be like a probably last minute call as we might. I think we might see. I have no idea where his recovery is looking at. I have not heard
Yeah,
too much.
but
about it.
Mariota's a pretty solid backup.
He
so.
is a solid backup,
and
especially
that's why
in
I
that
trust
scheme.
the Commanders more. So
Yeah, and especially having Terry McLaurin back has been
yes, Scary
very,
Terry has
very,
been very nice.
very helpful for them.
So Commanders are my winner here.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Commanders.
Yeah, so another, I wouldn't say tank bowl, which is weird, mostly because the Dolphins are 5-7.
Yeah,
Yeah, didn't expect that to happen at this point in the year, but here we are. There's sneaking wins here and there. Jets are playing okay.
Jets.
They're playing okay.
They have been playing better with Tyrod Taylor.
Yeah.
Their defense has been pretty solid.
In division play though is a bit weird right now.
I will add that because we haven't had one for a little bit. This is actually the Jets rivalries game, so they will be debuting their rivalries uniform.
Have rivalries uniforms even won besides the Patriots?
It was so the last two won between Patriots and Rams.
Yeah, that's true.
But the other
Patriots and Rams. If you're a good team, you win with your rivalry uniforms.
the first three, well, because the Bills were one of them. The first three lost, and then the last two have won. So
Interesting.
who knows?
I don't know. I trust the Dolphins more. I wouldn't be surprised if the Jets do win. So I'm going to stick with the Dolphins in this one solely because they have been racking up wins recently. Momentum has a lot of, weight to it. Jets, though, they'll win here and there. Or at least this point of the season. They'll win some random games and they'll be at least a little competitive, but not that much. So I honestly don't blame you if you do pick the Jets. So
These two teams actually really honestly kind of feel like they've become pretty similar in different ways, but both had a change in quarterback play where the quarterback has become much more reliable. They've learned to rely a lot more on their running back, who has been their star-studded guy, but they've found something that works in receivers, the Jets with some new guys, while the Dolphins have just gotten Jalen Waddle working a little bit more. And defenses that have started to step up and make bigger plays, more talented defense than, well, I guess Jets have gotten rid of some pieces, so it's not as talented as it used to be, but still performing pretty well. And then the Dolphins, who Their defense hasn't been great, but they have some good talent on there.
Mm-hmm.
Like it feels like two teams, and it again teams that can pull off upsets kind of at a whim, but aren't really good teams. I actually, and this isn't just because of trying to follow a trend or anything. I am going to go with the Jets here though, because they're not like they're not on a hot streak or anything.
But they're playing competitive.
They're playing a lot better as of late. They've won 3 of their last 5.
Yeah.
So they're playing a lot better, and they've been able to beat bad competition. And I think the Dolphins kind of fall on that. Where Dolphins again, what are we gonna get from Tua? It's gonna come down to Achane versus Brees Hall. I
Yeah,
think is
pretty
a lot of what that game is gonna come down to. I think the Jets' defense is a little bit better.
Yeah,
and
they're a bit better.
If Tua comes out with a bad game, which he's not completely eliminated the bad play. It's just
No.
not every week. If he comes out with a bad game in a division game here, I think the Jets can come away pretty easily with a win.
Indeed.
So
All right. So other noon games, we have Buccaneers and Saints. Buccaneers, if you lose this game, yeah, you might be done. I'm expecting them to win though.
the Saints beat the Panthers in Carolina, though. This is why this frustrates me. Is they beat them in Carolina, and so how can I trust the Saints, or how can I trust the Buccaneers against the Saints when the Buccaneers didn't go and just beat the Rams?
Yeah. That's fair.
With that being said, I'm still gonna go Buccaneers. Bucky Irving being back
Helps
and
them quite a bit. So
they're not as inconsistent as the Panthers. They're not playing at the same level they were earlier this year.
Mhm.
But the Panthers are this
they're very
on a regular
wavy.
basis, where the Buccaneers, they're like plateaued, even like in a little bit of a valley here. But I still think that they're miles better than the Saints, and so I'm gonna ride with the Buccaneers, and I am not crazy enough to call the Saints on this one.
Mm-hmm. Oh boy. So here we kind of get into the important noon games. We have the Colts visiting the Jaguars,
Mm-hmm.
which is interesting because if I did see somewhere, I believe it was the Colts. It's either the Colts or Titans don't really win in Jacksonville. It might be the Titans, but the Colts have been kind of on a skid recently. 1-3 in the last 5 weeks. Not a great sign. However, Jacksonville, even though if I have them up at top, my 10 in the power rankings, I don't know how they do against division. I'm not entirely sure yet. So, honestly, whoever wins this game probably has a better shot at winning their division, obviously, but they probably pull ahead enough where, if anything, it probably comes down to that team and maybe the Texans. Even because the Texans are on a hot streak right now. And whoever wins this one kind of...
This division's still up in the air.
So it could be anybody's game at this point, but I prefer to stick with the Colts only because I just don't understand how the Jaguars are winning games. They're inconsistent. Yes, they are racking up wins, but they did play the Titans this last week. They can be a good unit. It's kind of like how the Bills were playing, where 1 week we get a good team, 1 week we get a bad team, 1 week they actually play to their competition and win against them, and then they lose like the worst games that they could possibly ever lose to. So I'm only picking the Colts because I do expect a little bit of a rebound for the Colts. I'm just not sure if it's this week or next week though. So
Yeah. I mean, I think a lot of this comes down to comparing these teams. a lot of their offense relies on their run game. They
Yes.
kind of ride on
It's
the
the
run
run
game.
game.
Uh,
And that's why I have a slight favor towards the Colts, is because that run game of
True.
Jonathan Taylor is pretty
Jonathan
solid.
Taylor hasn't been like an X factor the past 2 weeks though, so he's had a quieter 2 weeks. Comparing quarterbacks, Danny Dimes is just asked to be efficient, while Trevor Lawrence is kind of just playing hero ball.
Yeah.
He'll throw like he had a few weeks ago. He'll throw 3 touchdowns and he'll throw 3 interceptions. Where it's just
Like come on. Like,
it's doing
be
too much.
consistent.
The difference though is kind of this defense, where I do kind of like the Jaguars' defense a little bit more.
Which is fair.
The Colts' defense definitely has some upside, but they've not been as impressive the past few weeks. They've just kind of not been the same Colts from.
yeah,
earlier
they're not
in the
the
year.
same unit.
They definitely have the potential to be, and the Jaguars are a team that could allow that to happen. But I believe there also is that trend of I think it actually is the Colts in Jacksonville. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure there's that. So I'm actually going to ride with the Jaguars, not just solely on that, but also I kind of just like the Jaguars matchup as much as I kind of am pulling more for the Colts. I kind of like the Colts this year, and I would hope that they can bounce back, but I do have a feeling the Colts just are going to be on a bit of a skid, and the Jaguars are just looking a little bit better, and they're winning, which is again at the end of the day what matters most.
So the other 2 noon games are interesting. This one particularly, because this affects your mental state.
That it does.
Yes. So the Ravens are hosting the Pittsburgh Steelers. Both are 6-6, looking to take the division lead. If Lamar Jackson does the same thing again,
Oh, it's going to be a horrible game if that's
it's going to
the
be a
case.
horrible game, because the Steelers are already in a mess. If Lamar can't beat the Steelers with, Aaron Rodgers just not playing very well, the Steelers in general are just kind of skittish, it's going to be a long rest of the year. I'm choosing the Ravens, but knowing the standard is the standard, the Steelers will somehow go 9-8 and either make the playoffs or just barely miss it. So,
Yeah, and this one being played at home, I'm really hoping is going to keep them with some momentum. I can see these two splitting, but also at the same time, I mean, obviously I'm going to go with the Ravens. That's my
how it
principle. But again, with the way they're playing right now, even though it's the same thing with the Bengals, whereas like I would hope this is the week if we split. I would expect this to be the week where we win. But with the way the offense is playing, I'm less confident in it now than if we get the offense fixed in a few weeks and then go on the road to Pittsburgh. That seems more likely. But I am going to pick the Ravens here. I'm going to hope and pray that they get this offense kind of righted where there's a lot of things wrong that have been wrong, but the Steelers inconsistent on defense. Offense has been flat as of late, and the Ravens' defense has been better. I think the Ravens can capitalize on that. And even if the offense doesn't look great, I think as long as they're not gifting the Steelers points, I think the defense can do enough to get them a win here against Pittsburgh.
Fair.
And
then there was one. So now we have the Bills hosting the Bengals. This is in Buffalo.
it is in Buffalo.
Allen, please show up.
Just shut up,
Just
Bengals. Just shut up.
Shout out the Bengals.
Shut
That's all you have to do.
This one, their Bills are so inconsistent.
And Joe Burrow is back, and the Bengals offense is starting to click again.
It's
Bills defense, there's something.
the thing is the Bengals offense had been clicking with Flacco. Like they had one bad game towards the end of his tenure
Yeah.
as the starter. The The question is going to come down to the Bills. We know the Bengals are going to be a good offense, a bad defense. That's just what they've
That's
been.
how we've known them.
The Bills they can fall completely flat on their face and pitch a really bad game,
Yes.
or they can come out and get in a shootout with the Bengals. I think the Bills win a shootout against the Bengals. And yes, you have Joe Burrow, but again, your offense was already performing at a high level. Yes, there's a little bit of variation when Joe Burrow's in the mix, but you still are going to lose games when your defense doesn't perform. And the Bills, I think, are a good example of that. Bills they've been pretty inconsistent with the way they've used their offense. Has been kind of questionable, but also they've allowed big games to running backs. James Cook,
Yep.
he's had some pretty good games this year. It's just what Bills are we gonna get?
Don't know. I'm hoping it's a good one. So I'm going with the Bills.
I'm also going.
Do not disappoint me.
I'm going with the Bills purely on the
On
caliber
the,
that
on
like
the notion that they
if-
could possibly get.
if they just perform at
At the bare minimum.
just perform,
Perform at the bare minimum.
show up, and I think they can win this game because the defense they can have their way with the defense here.
Yes. Now we're going into the afternoon slate. Broncos visiting the Raiders. I think the Broncos easily win, but
Yeah.
I pray it's going to be better than what we had earlier this season.
I'm not gonna go against the Broncos. I think Broncos are gonna be due for a loss sometime in the future, but
Against the Raiders, though?
it could be the Raiders in a divisional game. I'm not
Maybe.
gonna call it, but if it
No.
happens, I won't be surprised.
I wouldn't either.
But the Raiders are a mess. They've not been playing well. The O line's been bad. He's not been great.
Bowers,
Bowers
Crosby.
and Crosby. That's about it.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. So
Um,
good luck. Yeah. Here's the game that I've been wanting to talk about. So we have the Bears visiting the Packers in Lambeau Field. I'm picking upset alert here. I'm going with the Bears, which is weird, even though they are
winning the
winning
conference.
the conference right now. A lot of people don't trust the Bears right now, and honestly, I don't blame them because in their past they've not been trustworthy too. Yeah.
See,
Even if they do lose against the Packers, they are still in second place. Yeah, because tiebreaker and everything. So I do think the Bears can win in Lambeau. I believe Caleb Williams is. I think he's either 1-1 against Jordan Love, or
1-1.
1-1. Okay, so it's pretty split at the moment. Granted, Caleb Williams only has been in the NFL for now 2 years, almost 2 years. So we get to see who's actually going to show up. But with the inconsistency that we see from the Packers offense, it's kind of hard to gauge them. Their defense tends to step up when they need to, especially Michael Parsons. I don't know who's going to show up today. I'm curious to see how this run game will go against the Packers defense because Bears have a good run duo. And Caleb Williams isn't, dying every snap. He has a line.
He does
He
have
has
a
no
this
line
year.
now. We can confidently say that. So I'm picking the upset here. I can't
Yeah.
believe I'm calling that an upset. 'cause
It is admittedly it's a very different matchup than last time these two played.
No, this is completely different.
Yeah, because yes, Bears O line is better, but Packers have Micah Parsons, so very different. But the Packers offense has not been consistent this year since losing Tucker Kraft.
Yes, they've been very off and on.
Their receivers have been playing pretty well, but you put on a show against the Lions, who have always kind of been on defense. They've been a little rocky. The Bears have played a pretty good season on defense. Their season has gone they've been pretty solid. I can't even say that it's going to come down to one thing because it's going to be, can Caleb get past the pass rush? Can the run game get going like it did against Philly? I think that is a little bit more of a guarantee.
It's more of a
Not at the
guarantee
same
now.
level.
It's
Not at
more
the-
of a guarantee now.
Not at the same level they did against Philly, because I think that's a little fluky, but I think they can get a run game going against this Packers defense. It's going to be, can Caleb not completely, because he doesn't have to be perfect. We've seen that. But can he have a solid and just not super mistake heavy game against Micah Parsons in this defense? And what Packers offense are we going to get?
Thank you.
I like the Bears defense. Is honestly what's kind of swinging this for me, is as much as it's not talked about. They kind of are a bend but don't break, and that's put them in a lot of winning situations. So I'm going to take the Bears. I did originally have the Packers kind of winning their first matchup, especially at home. But right now, I kind of like the Bears more in this matchup. When it comes to Chicago, we'll have to see. But
This game decides how I'm gonna adjust my power rankings this next week, because this is a heavy implications game. So I'm hoping it will do some justice. So
unlike this game,
yeah, so we have the Rams going to the Cardinals. Rams should win this in their sleep. Yeah.
yeah, Cardinals. I mean, they can be competitive.
Yay.
They can be competitive, but Rams just came off a loss to the Panthers. Unless this is the start of a bad trend for the Rams, I don't see this going well for the Cardinals. The Rams are going to be angry about a loss.
They're getting a little upset right now, so they're probably gonna take it out on the lesser opponents.
And
So-
yeah, the Cardinals definitely are that this year.
They're
So
eliminated, so
Cardinals
easy punching bag.
Probably gonna have. I foresee a rough time for the Cardinals. But moving on to Sunday Night Football, we're gonna have the Texans visiting the Chiefs.
So this is the battle of which offense is gonna wake up.
I mean, well, here's the thing: Patrick Mahomes hasn't been playing a bad year of football.
No, he's not been playing bad, but I'm talking about like the offense as a whole, because there's only like a couple players on each of their teams that are actually doing pretty well.
Yeah,
As a whole, it's been sluggish. Like, you saw the Chiefs against the Cowboys. You saw the Texans earlier this year, where they did not have an offense whatsoever. It was literally their defense trying to win them games. This is one of those things where I kind of like the matchup, because I get to see who is actually wanting a playoff appearance. Like, they want to be there, because this is a deciding factor, at least for me, is I won't count them out. Whoever wins this game, I won't count them out, because, sometimes things just happen. They just go on a winning streak towards the end of the year. Sometimes they just do just enough to barely sneak in, or at least barely miss the playoffs. Texans, in my opinion, have a slightly better shot, because the defense is playing lights out. I love that defense. The offense, if they can progressively get a little bit better by the week, they can do it. I'm picking the upset here, not just because I don't like the Chiefs, but I just think there's a better chance that the Texans could possibly make the playoffs compared to the Chiefs at the moment. At the moment. Chiefs win, it's like, okay, well, we knew this. Like, they're gonna try and make a push. Like, this is just the next year again with the Chiefs in the playoffs. So they're not out of the playoffs yet. So whoever wins this one has a better shot of trying to make it. So
that is true. I foresee this potentially being an ugly game.
it's probably going to be an ugly game.
It's a weird matchup where it doesn't feel like the Chiefs' defense has been great this year, but it feels like a lot of the Patrick Mahomes to Rashee Rice
yeah.
story. Texans, again, you said their defense is really good. I don't know that their offense is going to look too great though this week.
No, and that's where I'm concerned, because that Texans defense is really good. So what are they going to do against the Texans defense? That is going to change the game, I guess. So I need to see it watch. I need to watch it live. That's just how it works.
Unfortunately, the one thing that I'm going to come down to is this one is going to be played in prime time on Sunday night, and we've not seen the Chiefs lose prime time Sunday night. And so I am
this year.
Not this year. I am going to go with the Chiefs just because, I mean, yes, the defense can be really good, but Patrick Mahomes is still going to make some magic happen.
No, he's easy.
And I think that magic that he can make happen is going to be enough to beat the Texans, who I feel like are just going to kind of pitch a dud on a Sunday night. And the thing is, Chiefs need this a lot more than the Texans. Texans only a game behind. A win here would give them second place in the division
Easily.
and would put them in the playoffs. Because, again, whoever loses between Jags and Colts, Texans
they jump out. They drop out.
Yeah. So, well, they jump over them at least.
Well, jump over for the moment. Things
It'll
are going to get
depend on-
finalized in the next few weeks. So
Chiefs need this, and I think this is a good matchup, especially it coming on a Sunday night, which is like double home field advantage for the Chiefs.
yeah,
So
because I gotta give Chris Collinsworth what he wants. So
I gotta go with the Chiefs as much as I hate it. But then on to the final game of the week, we have Monday Night Football. The Eagles playing the Chargers. I don't know. Like it's such a
it's a very interesting one. We have a team that's injured. We have a team who is consistently inconsistent
yes.
and not have an offense.
That is an accurate. Yeah.
I don't like picking them, but I'm going to choose the Eagles only because I don't know how good the Chargers will be against that defense. Then again, we did just see the Bears beat that defense, but how much is that the Bears actually being good this year? And it just goes around and around in a loop. So it's just like we don't know. That's the chaos of 2025.
Yeah, there's a lot.
A lot happening, yes.
There's a potential for Marion Hampton to return, and I think that would be a major shift.
It would be. It would be.
If he can. I believe he comes off of. I think he'll be able to come off IR then. We'll see if he actually does return, but it's just like on one hand, the Eagles' D-line will dismantle the Chargers' O-line.
Who are literally made of paper bags.
Yes, but there's also the Chargers who've been dealing with a bad O-line, and Justin Herbert still makes stuff happen despite the pressure.
That's true.
And I have a hard time picking against the Chargers, so I'm going to pick the Chargers here. I think the Eagles are favorites. I think they should be favorites, but it's just Chargers defense is still good, and the Eagles are in a skid, and I just don't know if they're going to be able to right the ship, but we've seen the Chargers kind of fall apart before, so I can't say I'd be surprised if the Eagles pull out a win, but it's not going to be without.
One of the narratives are going to be enforced this year.
Yeah, it's going to have to, it's going to take something like that for that to happen.
So that is all of Week 14 preview. Obviously, less games because it's not the holidays. So, cool stuff. So we got some interesting matchups, a few games with playoff implications or possible pushes to the playoffs. So it's always good to see what happens. So thank you all for joining us on this Week 14 preview. We are looking forward to see what happens towards the end of this year and what happens in the playoffs because it's coming up real fast. And Will wants to see the Ravens go to the playoffs, even though if they're at like 9-8 or 8-9.
That'd be nice.
Please do something.
I'm hoping.
Go to Baltimore and tell them that. All right, so thank you all for joining us, and we will see you in the live stream or whenever we do